Hi, how's it going? I'm Andrew Miller. I'm the culinary producer here at the Majordomo Studios, and today we're filming some recipes from Dinner Time Live. Today we're working on episode 116, classic comforts, and we're gonna do a little clam chowder. So the first thing we're gonna need to do to make our clam chowder is cook some clams. And here we got about 3 pounds of little neck clams. We rinse them under running water for about an hour, just to get rid of as much sand as we possibly can. You're never gonna get rid of all the sand with fresh clams, but we did our best. So I got a hot pot here, and on this side I have some white wine, about 2 cups of white wine that I'm just heating up just to speed up the whole process, basically. I like to start with just a little bit of oil. Drop some aromatics in there. I just had some shallots, some garlic, and some thyme that were laying around. I'm gonna throw those in here. Stir it for just a quick second to kind of wake everything up. As soon as you can smell it, you're good. And then I got add my clams. Add the wine. And cover it. It does not take long. So when you start them, you want to have this kind of drainer set up. The top part catches the clams, and then all that yummy clam juice drips into the bottom. As soon as they start opening, you can start plucking them out of there. We'll say it takes about 2-3 minutes. What do we got? Yeah, so they're starting to pop open, you can see, right? Worst thing you want to do is overcook these little bad boys. And they're going to start to get rubbery, chewy, and all that nonsense. We don't want that. Once they're, you want them to get a little over halfway open, and about half of them should be open. I think once you get to like that point right here, yeah. And then as I see them, they're not all open, but as I see them opening, I'm pulling them out right away. And I can't eat, they're opening so fast now I can't even keep up. So over half of them are open, so I know we're in a good place. I'm just gonna dump the whole batch out, man, right in here. Oh, smells great. So that's these guys. They're still cooking, you know? They're still continuously cooking as we're going. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw this in the fridge and cool this down. We're gonna come back to it in a little bit. And then while our clams are cooling, I'm gonna start chopping up all this stuff. I got bacon, I have some Yukon Gold potatoes, some celery, and about a half yellow onion here. I don't know if you guys watched the episode, but in episode 116, Dave prepared the clam chowder in a little bit of a non-traditional way to speed up the process of some things, like microwaving the vegetables, so that we had time to complete the whole dish during the episode. Today we're gonna slow it down a little bit. We're gonna do a more traditional preparation of clam chowder. I'm just gonna cut that in little strips. I think that's actually gonna do it right there. Okay, so this bacon can go right into the pot. We're gonna start by kind of rendering that out and getting it, get a little brown on there. All right, while that's going, I will chop up the rest of these vegetables. We're just doing like a medium dice here on this onion. All right, so I got my onion and celery. And then I'm gonna keep the potatoes separate because I'm gonna add them a little bit later, once this stuff's kind of sweated out. Peeling potatoes. Getting a little hot here. That off. All right, celery and onions, Yukon Gold potatoes. All right, bring this back over to a pretty low heat. All right, so you can see here we got some nice crispiness going on our bacon. It's starting to render out some of its fat. We don't need to get it too crispy because it is going to be stewing in a liquid, so that crispiness isn't going to hold up. But we do want some browning for flavor. I think that's nice. And then I'll start with the onions and celery and just sweat that out a little bit. So one of the things too is you really have to be careful with your seasoning with chowder, because a lot of the ingredients that we're using are either already seasoned, like bacon has been cured with salt and sugar and all that, and then the clams also have their own natural brininess, you know, from the sea. So be careful with the salt, because you could end up with something very salty and gross at the end if you're not. So we're using 2 kinds of clam juices for this. We're gonna have some really nice clam juice that we've produced ourselves from the fresh clams. And then we're also going to use a couple cans of canned clam juice. Not the actual clams, because those are like chewing on rubber bands. But we are going to use the juice, because it's got a great flavor. So we strain out these clams, and you get that great juice underneath. I guess you could do something like chop them up really fine, you know, and make like a clam dip or something if you're into that. But for me personally, canned clams are not one of my favorite ingredients, put it that way. All right. Okay, so I got my fresh clams here, and then this is the juice from those fresh clams, which is basically the wine that we cooked them in. And then I don't want to pour the whole thing in there, because if you see what sets up on the bottom of this is a lot of sand, which we don't want to eat that. So you kind of decant it in there, you know? And then I'll even take some of this, little bit of this juice and cover my clams. Keep them nice and moist while they're sitting waiting for us to finish our chowder. All right, so now we're back to this. I got the bacon, the onions, and celery in here, all nicely sweated out. I'm gonna go ahead and toss in my potatoes now. And I'm waiting for that to heat back up. So while that's warming back up, I am gonna start our roux. So a roux is like it's a thickening agent, a technique used for thickening. But if you think about clam chowder, it's basically a bechamel sauce, which is in its most simplest form is milk thickened with roux. We're going to add our clam juice and our milk, and then that's all going to get thickened with this roux that we're about to make right now. You start with equal parts of butter and flour, and that's it. And then we're just going to cook it on a low heat over here till the flour flavor is just kind of cooked out of it. And there's all different kinds of roux. You can go anywhere from a light roux all the way to a dark roux, which is used in like gumbo and stuff like that. Today we're gonna keep it light though. So we don't wanna let it get too hot. We don't want the butter to brown, anything like that. And I used too much butter. Like half a stick of butter, which is, what's that, 1/8 of a pound? Yeah, I was gearing up to make enough roux for like 5 gallons of clam chowder apparently. No, bechamel is like a kind of a classic French sauce used in all kinds of an array of things. The first thing that comes to my mind, the most common thing probably comes to most people's minds is in lasagna, which obviously isn't French, but it's used in that. It's used in a velouté sauce. I guess we use roux in that. Lots of things. Thickening. The way I was taught to do this is you kind of want to look, you're looking for wet sand is the consistency. So we're going to cook that for a few minutes to get that flour flavor out of there. And while we're doing that, we're going to go right back over here. Cooking it over low heat. Sorry, we're going to cook it over a very low heat because we don't want it to brown again. So while we're doing that, that's cooking out, we're going to go ahead and add our 2 different clam juices and some milk to the whole mixture. So I'm not going to add all the clam juice. I'm going to reserve some in case I need to go back and like adjust the thickness or even seasoning with this stuff. Because again, like I said, it's got the ocean in there, so it's awfully salty. We're here. We got our little clam juice, milk, vegetable, bacon mixtures come up to a simmer, and our roux is all nice and cooked out here. So we're gonna add it into the chowder base. That might be enough. I always set a little aside in case I need more. I don't want to overdo it because then we will end up with paste. And then we're gonna let that come back up. And as it comes up, it's gonna thicken. It's gonna get that nice New England clam chowder texture that we like so much. You can see it kind of starting to simmer away here. And you see, like, as it's simmering, it's getting thicker and thicker. Let it go for another few more minutes as it continues to thicken. Got to keep it stirring. We don't want it to stick. But we are getting very close to the consistency that we want. So we've been simmering away for a while. I just checked. I think we're seasoning's good. Our vegetables, especially the potatoes, more important than anything, are all nice and tender in there. That's a lie. No.
You steamed these earlier?
So yeah, these were steamed earlier. They're totally cooked. Got them in a little juice to keep them moist. And then this is the very last thing we're gonna add, because, like I said, they're already cooked, and we don't want them to spend any more time cooking in our chowder, because nothing good is gonna happen. They're just gonna get tough and turn into little rubber bands. And yuck, nobody likes that. Unless you're into that. Maybe some people do, I don't know.
No kink shit.
Are you a fan of chewy clams?
Yeah. The chewier the better, man. Just like to get that mouth workout.
Start the split.
I saw some oyster crackers over here.
I do.
Yeah.
Because that's the classic combo with New England clam chowder.
Yes. Can I tell you this? So he was on the show. He was talking about. We were talking about the merits of the Manhattan, the tomato-based red clam chowder, the New England white, which we have here, and the more obscure Rhode Island clear.
I'm not super familiar with that one, honestly.
Can I tell you something? I've never had the red or the clear. This is the only clam chowder I've ever had.
I've had the red.
And?
No, it's
not good?
It's not in the same realm as New England. No.
No?
Yeah, I'm just gonna chop a little thyme and put it on top, just to make it look a little nice. Just a little bit.
This guy's.
I thought just especially for this, there's only so much you can do with clam chowder, but
A little chive?
a little chive would be nice, something.
Something green?
Nobody really likes to look at a drab white bowl of chowder.
Dude, I don't really get to eat this very often, but
It's good stuff, right?
it's so good, man.
Especially down here in Los Angeles. A hot steaming bowl of clam chowder is not always on the menu.
I haven't had a bowl of clam chowder like this in a long time. Very delicious.
Lucky for you, there's plenty to take home.
Classic comforts menu. Andrew's gonna keep on making more recipes as he saw them, as he and Dave developed them for the show. I'm just gonna keep showing up at the end of each one of these things and stuffing my face full of creamy Clam chowder.
I want your job.
You want to come for the crown? Keep on watching. If there's a like button in your vicinity, go ahead and smash that thing. If there's a subscribe button nearby, hey,
Gently
why not pet that thing? Why not
tap it.
Why not give that some heavy petting? This is always fun as always. We'll talk to you all soon.